Two different memorial events in Moscow on Tuesday evening, two different aspects of a nation's grief. First, the official one beneath the walls of the Kremlin, with flowers and toys supplied by the city authorities. Later, a people's gathering on Pushkin Square. Here there was anger at the country's political system for allowing Kemerovo's appalling fire to happen.
Citizens are deeply unhappy with the authorities' actions, including the president, who should be responsible for everything happening in the country, but who nevertheless doesn't do anything to minimize things like corruption.
I think that the other rally is 100% staged. I don't think that many people willingly went there. Many of them received salaries from the state and they were forced to attend. Here people came because they wanted to.
In Kemerovo itself, which lost so many people in this disaster, understandably the mood was even more raw. At a rally demanding truth and justice, a man described his last words to his dying young daughter.
I said, where is my daughter? I was talking to her on the phone. She cried, "I'm here, Dad, here." I told her, "Lie down on the floor and breathe and don't die." I cried. I was crying to my daughter. She said, "Dad, I love you. I'm suffocating. I'm losing consciousness. Excuse me."
People here say they believe the death toll is much higher than officially admitted. Vladimir Putin often stays away from domestic disasters, but earlier on Tuesday he visited Kemerovo and its bereaved residents. Criminal negligence was to blame, he said, but it was too early to point fingers.
An investigation team of 100 people is working here. They will go along the whole chain, starting with those who issued licenses and up to those who were responsible for safety, and that security firm employee who was sitting there and did not press the button on time.
In the gutted remains of the Winter Cherry shopping centre, those investigators are trying to piece together what happened and how blocked fire exits, a non-functioning alarm system and a slow emergency response might have contributed to the deaths of so many children and families relaxing on a Sunday afternoon. 5 people have been charged. The director and the technical director of the mall have already appeared in court. They insist all safety inspections and training were done by the book.
Russia is no stranger to horrible tragedies, so it's quite difficult to put one's finger exactly on what it is about this one that's made people so hurt and angry. Perhaps the high number of children dead is a factor, but also too, I think, the belief amongst many Russians that corruption and bureaucratic indifference aren't just nuisances, they can be devastatingly fatal too.
A country's systemic failings are often most exposed by disaster, and it's the failings of 18 years of Putin's rule that are on display just as he begins his 4th and potentially last term in office. Rory, Challands, Al Jazeera, Moscow.